Let's make these adorable crocheted bows. So when I was designing these, I really wanted the tails of the bows to mimic a ribbon. And so ribbons often twist or spin, and they have that really ruffled, beautiful edge to them. So I was able to achieve it. It took me a few tries, but we got there. So how this is created is the bow part of it is simply a loop, and then the tails are made separately. Then I take the tails from the bow part, the yarn tails, and I wrap it around the bow. Now I will show you how to hide those final tails so that the back also looks really neat. Now these could be attached to a hair accessory and worn in your hair, but I have attached a ring to the back. It's just a chain, a series of chain and single crochets, and it's a ring. And the reason I've done this is so that it can sit and be a napkin ring holder. To make these bows, I'm using Knitting for Olive yarn. They're cotton merino blend in the color Ballerina. I will link that below. So this is a 70% cotton and 30% RWS certified merino wool blend. So it is going to be a little bit more lightweight than if it was 100% cotton. Now these tails I did lightly dampen, and then I placed a heavy object over them, and that allowed them to sit flat. Otherwise they may curl in a little bit, but there is minimal blocking involved in this. So in addition to your yarn, you will also need a 3.5 millimeter crochet hook. You will start by putting a slip knot on your hook. Now for the initial tail, it doesn't need to be too long. I would say somewhere between 4 to 6 inches would suffice. The tail, when we finish the bow at the end, will be longer, and I'll show you when we get there. Now to start, we will chain 5, then starting in the second chain from the hook, you will work 1 single crochet in each stitch back across. And for this, you don't need to worry about which stitch you work into or if you're working in the back bumps, because it will be joined and completely hidden. So we don't need to have that super clean edge. Okay, so now we have worked 4 single crochets. Now we will chain 1 and turn. So you're going to grab both loops and work 4 single crochets across. So you will now repeat this pattern. So you'll start by chaining 1 and turn, and then working 4 single crochets across. So you will keep doing this until you reach a total of 26 rows. So what we're working on here will form this top bow part here. So if you want something wider this way, then you're going to need to crochet more than 26 rows. If you want it smaller, less than 26 rows. And if you want your bow thicker this way, you will need to start with a larger initial chain, because we're working our 4 single crochets this way. Now we will pinch this in the middle when we wind it up. So I'm going to keep working my single crochets until I reach row 26, and I'll meet you there. I've worked my 26 rows, and now I will chain 1 and pull a loop up here like this, so the 2 ends are joined. Now I will simply work a slip stitch in the row we just worked, catching the initial chain of our band here. So you'll need to work 4 slip stitches across, just simply to join the 2 sides. Now I've worked across the end. I like to chain one at the end here. Then you're going to leave a decent size tail here so that we can use it to create the faux knot in the bow here. Okay, so fasten off there. Now turn your slip stitch to the inside of your band, and then I just like to create a knot between the two tails here. Okay, so we will create the tail of the bow now, and then I will show you how to assemble it. So the tails are symmetrical, and you'll see that as we work through the pattern. So again, we will start with a slip knot. You do not need to have a long tail here because we will just weave them in as usual. We won't be using the tails for anything. Okay, so now you will chain 31. I did show you how you could make your band part of your bow bigger or smaller. The tails, it's going to be a fixed size. Now, if you are a bit more of an advanced crocheter, you could certainly figure out how to scale the pattern up and down to make these tails bigger, but I suggest when you start, just follow this pattern to understand how it's made, and then yeah, if you feel like you want to scale it up or scale it down, go for it. So I have chain 31, and in the second chain from the hook, I will work a single crochet. Now I will be working in the back bumps only. So if you flip your chain around, you can see these bumps or ridges on the back. That's where you will be putting your hook. If you can't figure that out, don't worry about it. You can certainly work in any of the 3 loops in your chains. The reason I work in the back bumps is because it creates a really clean edge along the chain edge that almost mimics a single crochet, so it's hard to see what side is the chain. So if you look here, in this center here is the chain, and you can see how clean that edge looks. Okay, so now you will work 1 single crochet in each chain across, so you should have a total of 30 single crochets. Right, I have finished single crocheting 30 across. Now we will chain 1 and turn. So in the first 2 stitches, you will work a slip stitch, then a single crochet. Next, we will work a half double crochet and a double crochet in the next 2 stitches. So we have worked 6 stitches in total. Now we will work a half double crochet followed by 2 single crochets in the next 2 stitches. So sorry, 1 single crochet in each of the next stitches. So now we're at stitch 9. We will work a half double crochet, a double crochet. Now in the next stitch, we will work 2 double crochets, and this is going to create the bend or turn in our bow. There's that second double crochet. Now we will work in the next stitch 2 half double crochets. Okay, in the next 4 stitches, you will work 1 single crochet. So 4 single crochets in total. Now we will reverse the pattern so that our bow is symmetrical. So starting with 2 half double crochets in 1 stitch, 2 double crochets in the next stitch, 1 double crochet, 1 half double crochet, single crochet, followed by a single crochet, a half double crochet, double crochet, another double crochet, one half double crochet, one single crochet, then one slip stitch in the next 2 stitches. Right, so that's how that's looking, and you can see it's starting to take shape. Okay, let's work the final round here. So we will chain 1 and turn. Now you will work a slip stitch in the first 2 stitches. So you will be working on top of those slip stitches from the previous row, which can be a little bit tricky. So just do what you can to fit your hook in there. Okay, now we will work 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3. Now you will work 2 half double crochets in the next stitch. Now work 1 single crochet in the next 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now in the next stitch, you will work 2 half double crochets, and then in the next stitch, you will work 2 double crochets. Then a half double crochet, followed by 2 single crochets over the next 2 stitches. So 1 single crochet in each of those next 2. Now we are working across the top flat part here. So we will work 4 slip stitches. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, now we will reverse that pattern, starting with 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches. Then you will work a half double crochet, followed by 2 double crochets in the next stitch. Now you will work 2 half double crochets in the next stitch. And then 1 single crochet in the next 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, now we will do 2 half double crochets in the next stitch. Now we will work 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches. And then to finish it off, we will work a slip stitch in the next 2 stitches. Now you can cut your tails, fasten off, and this is how the tail portion of the bow is looking. Now it does look shorter when it's like this than when it's attached, and I will show you how we assemble it now. I am going to weave in these ends here off camera, but remember, you will keep your tails of the band portion. We are ready to assemble now. So remember, this isn't blocked, so it's not looking super neat. So we'll take our band here. You will have your slip stitch join at the back here, making sure your slip stitches are sitting on the inside. And you will just center those slip stitches in your band like that. Okay. Then you will take your band and put it over the tails, making sure you're centering everything. Now the shorter tail you can leave off to the side now, but with the longer one, we will just simply start winding it around both the tail and the band. And you're going to want to pull it a little bit snug so that it cinches everything in. And just keep winding it around. So as you can see, I'm moving a little bit to the right here. And then at some point you may want to take a break here and just make sure that your tail ends are still the same length and everything is sitting how you want it to. Okay, let's keep winding this up. I suggest when you are jumping with your tail, like from this side to this side, that you do the jump on the reverse side so that the front, everything looks like it's laying flat. So remember, how long your tails are will determine how thick your center tie, your faux knot is going to be. Okay, so when it's about this long here, that's when I just put it to the reverse side. Now we have been winding from under, over, and back. So for this one, I will wind it the opposite way. So sending it to the back first, and I will just wind it 2 or 3 times. Now on the back side of the bow, because this tail is coming from the top and this one is coming from the bottom rather than the same way, it'll be much easier to knot them. So you'll simply just do a square knot, and I'll probably put a 3rd knot in there just to be extra safe. Now, if you take your needle and thread both tails into your needle, so you will take your needle with both tails and put it under those strands of yarn that we wound around the bow, and then in your tail here you will find a few stitches to also weave through. Then you will, remember this is knotted, so the weaving isn't helping to secure the bow. Then you just pull those out. You don't want to pull too tight because you don't want to skew this faux knot. But now you can see where we did that knot between the 2 strands, that it's kind of hidden away there. Now you can simply trim your ends. And it's complete. So now I will show you how to attach the ring at the back if that's how you are going to be using your bows. So we will start with a slip knot on our hook, and you will grab your bow. So you'll go to the reverse side of your bow, and on your band here, somewhere close to the edge, you will work a slip stitch. You want to make sure you don't grab anything on the front, just the reverse side. Then you will go ahead and chain 14. And bring the chain over to the other side of the bow, and in a similar position from the edge as to where you secured this one, you will work a slip stitch. Okay. Then you will move over and work another slip stitch. And you can chain 1 here, and then you will just work back along your chain to the other side. So you will work 14 single crochets in each stitch across. It's nice here if you can work in the back loops, but if you're not able to, don't worry, because it won't be super visible. I have worked those 14 single crochets back over, and now I will join that with a slip stitch next to the slip stitch I initially worked. Okay, now you can fasten off. And you will simply just weave in those ends now, probably feeding them through the ring or the band here, but not working through the front of your work. So the band is pretty hidden on the back side. You can't really see it from the front, but when you put it around a napkin, it will sit nice like that. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate all the views, likes, and comments. If you enjoyed this video or you found it helpful or inspirational, I would love if you could give this video a like, share, or subscribe. If you are going to make these napkin rings for someone this season, I would love to hear about it in the comments below. Thanks so much.